never lose. You either win or you learn. And that's life. You know, everyone's got strengths and everyone's got weaknesses, and find your damn strengths. As a man, as a black man, looking at me in the mirror, it's probably one of the biggest things I ever had to do.
That's beautiful.
Introducing this new and exciting episode of A'lotta Racket podcast, brought to you by this week's proud sponsor, Champion Ford, known as the home of champions. Are you ready to elevate your drive to a champion level? Well, Champion Ford not only brings you a winning offer on vehicles that match your winning spirit, but also the winning UCLA women's tennis associate head coach, Rance Brown.
Welcome to another episode of A'lotta Racket podcast with me, Roger Coach Slinger Smith, along with our host, on my right, Coach Victor Troy Collins. On my left here, Terry T-Dawg Davis. Again on my left, Errol Easy Smith. We have honest conversations about life experiences, especially on our journey to the professional ATP tour, and being experts in the sports world to talk about what it takes to create champions, both on and off the court. In each episode, we have new topics and bring in acclaimed guests to share their expertise and insights on developing top young athletes and achieving success in sports and life. And today, we are honored to have I don't even know how to describe this individual. He's a great person, a great friend, a great coach, one of the most successful coaches in college tennis. Mm-hmm. He's helped so many up-and-coming tennis professionals, and just so many kids, just along the way. We are just honored to have you. And this is none other Coach Rance, the man, Brown.
Wait. Come on, baby.
I like that, baby.
Yes, sir.
I'm a little bit humble. Not as humble as us. But listen, man, we are just fortunate enough to have you here today, man. Just thank you for making time on your busy schedule. I know you have a lot going on. We're just honored that you can fit us in, man.
I'm honored to be here.
Okay, great. Rance, we're going to get to all that college stuff. But first, let's start with your early years, man. Help us along the way. How did you even get started? Or what led you to tennis?
You know, I have to be honest, sitting here with you guys, you're more than my friends. You know me, you know all the skeletons. We didn't have social media today, so you know my Instagram account very well. So, you know, I was fortunate enough to get a break at a resort in Newport Beach where they had a tennis club, and went in to teach a summer camp. In between going from junior college to Long Beach State, and Robin Ray gave me an opportunity, and I fell in love with it. I knew I wanted to be a coach, and I put everything into it. I quit my job working at the grocery store, and parents thought I was crazy, and I was going to be a tennis coach. And I was fortunate. My tenure there went about 21 years in Newport Beach, California, where at the time, I wouldn't have gotten a job at the Joint League Tennis Club.
You said 21 years at the Marriott?
Man.
And Robin gave me that opportunity. I wouldn't have gotten a job at Newport Beach Tennis Club. And being a young black man, a lot of people said, you know, I don't think you're going to be able to make it. Not enough people will take lessons from you. And I think growing up in Orange County and understanding myself, the dynamics, I just felt people would look at me for what I could do on the court. And we're the first black family to move into Huntington Beach, California in 1962.
Wow.
So that didn't scare me away. And I was very fortunate to have the support of Robin Ray. I was lucky enough to have support with families in the area that entrusted me with their young people. The most important thing in these people's life is their children. And I think hopefully my character and just my work ethic was going to overshadow a lot of things. And, you know, God bless it did, having the mentor of having a great father and a mother show me what I want. to do. So that's how it all started. That's how it all started. I remember going up to my boss and saying, we need some good juniors. We only have a little kids program. He says, well, you need to go make something. And maybe that was the best thing he ever did, because I got 4 little kids and said, we're going to make you guys, go to sectionals and do well. And that's where I kind of started. I really had about 4 girls, 4 boys, and didn't have a big grand plan, but all those kids ended up winning a sectional in one age division.
That's right.
So I knew I could do it then, and started my own after-school program, and then eventually almost a junior academy when they kind of weren't junior academies.
Right.
Everyone went to school back in the day and had to have a strong after-school program in a great area with so many great pros. Within a 5-mile radius of me, I had Phil Bent, Sid Ball, Ross Case, Robert Van Hoff, and that makes you good. It makes you accountable. And later on in life, coming out, I met Detroit. I met the Terrys. We idolized you, watching you out there play.
I told you we followed. Told you said it.
So, to be in this room, it's quite humbling, and not a tennis way, but a life way with you men. And that's way more important in life, is to be respected by your friends. So, and it's a small community, it's a small tennis community, and if you're an African American man, it's a very tiny community. So, I'll be honest, a lot of people I get criticized sometimes, but I am black and very proud of it. And I feel I have a responsibility of being that way. It might be a different pathway than some take, but it's my way. And I'm very happy with that. Absolutely.
Let me ask you a question, man. Wait, first of all, let me address. You said Troy first and then me? You can't. No. I need the order. There's an order here, okay? There is an order. I don't care, because it starts there and then trickles here. You know what I'm saying? So let it be clear. But can I tell a story?
No. Like I said, you guys are my Instagram account.
No, but this is something that is very profound, because when I came in to teach at Tustin Hills, I had no idea he was in Orange County. So there's 2 blacks. I'm at a club that never had no black members, just like him, but I didn't know he was there. I didn't even know. Here, all this time I thought I was one. You see, I thought, once again, there goes your brother. See, Rex, remember back in the day, I thought I was a superhero until I met him. Yeah. And then I met you, and I thought you were the one. I was the one. But the story is, there was a fast serve contest. And the Brea Mall. But fast serve contest in the mall. What? But it was annually, and he always won it. Okay.
I cheated and won the first Prince Pro round.
So I was walking with my girl in the mall, and it's fast serve contest. You can do that. I said, and the other guy says, "There's another black guy here before you. Do you know him?" So who? Who? What? Because I ain't never heard. So I did my serve. He said, "This is faster, but he's probably going to come in and try to beat this again." So I win it, and I don't know if we saw each other at the tournament or it was a Pro-Am. Pro-Am, that's right. And we hooked up and just started talking. He said, "Oh, you the one."
Pro-Am.
But, here to say, wow, I am, you learn a lot. I thought I knew a lot about you, but I didn't know where it started because I never asked the question. As long as I've known you, I never asked that question, and that's nice to hear, man. That is, it softens my heart because we all got to start somewhere, and it's always got to be a pioneer. And when there's a pioneer, even if you don't know it's a pioneer, he's still making a difference for me. So, shout out to you, Rance. Shout out to you, boy. I love you, man.
And you should have been first.
Well, you're both pioneers, man.
No doubt.
Obviously, I came before Troy, but no, I'm joking, man.
Uh-oh, here we go. Don't, you're going to hear it. It's his last 3 podcasts. Come on. Go on and say it. I know you're tired of saying
I'm
it.
trying to filter, but it was lightning in a bottle having us 4 guys in in South Orange County, Newport Beach, Ohio, all that. On Friday night and Saturday night. We didn't even stretch it to Sunday night. But on the tennis thing, well, I refer to Rance as Big Brother Rance, so that kind of like speaks for itself, And when you talk about the politics that he has had to play, for the last 50 years, and I'm not talking about the on-court stuff, because he's great on-court, but he is even more of a master in diplomacy, and that's kind of like, what I learned from him more than anything else is how to read a room, go in a room, how to teach kids at every different level and the expectations, and recreational players versus players that are going to use tennis as a vehicle to further their education. He's shown me how to, every level, a kid to get the most out of their tennis at every level. And subsequently, you don't run kids off. I had an issue with running kids off, too hard on them or putting the not meeting them where they are. He's very, very good at meeting juniors, collegiate players, and obviously pros as well, where they are. And so I try to learn from that, from when I'm around them.
No doubt. And Brother Rance. I'll call you Brother Rance. Big Brother Rance.
Yeah.
And that's an art, but it had to come from somewhere. Where do you think you developed that art?
Wow. I yelled choked up here. I lost both my parents during the pandemic. Had great lives, 92, 93 years.
Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Brown.
Yes. But, having 3 young black boys in 1962, moving to Huntington Beach, California, and my parents, one from Mississippi and one from Texas, took a big chance, and I think they wanted to have more opportunities for their young men. And both of them had college educations, and we both know that's very rare back in the time. So I feel very blessed. I would not be here for Mr. Brown.
I think you have a picture in your office you showed me, and you said Pops was one of the only ones who had an education in the military, right? And was that in Vietnam?
No, that was in the Korean War. Korean War. And he went in as an officer, so he was pretty lucky.
Wow.
But the picture I have is an all black infantry with one white male leading the black infantry. And I had my desk, I want to know where I came from.
Wow. That's beautiful.
I'd like to see that picture. I'd like to have a copy of that, man.
He showed me that last week. It was crazy. It was crazy. We were just sitting in the office, just reminiscing. Crazy.
So, my mom, where it came from, Raj, was mom. Lady from Ruralville, Mississippi, Miss Doshie Mae Winfrey. Let me tell you, had every reason in the world to not like life, to have a reason to say I can't do something. The most unconditional, loving parent. Wow. So.
Amen.
Wow.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Absolutely. I was blessed enough to, as you know, I went to the memorial, and to just hear everybody talk. So beautiful of your mom. It's just, I cried, man. It was amazing. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
She was a great woman.
It's just, you find your pathway. I know this big giant right here. There's a big teddy bear. Another big giant here. Like you said, Roger, it's to bring all this together. It's a tribute to you, but it was a lot of sacrifice for just not us, our parents, and
Yes.
we're willing to take some heat and do it. But I think finding my pathway, what I did well, I've been blessed. Besides Mom, God's been the only person that put me in this environment to succeed, because I have no business being where I'm at.
So your mom was your rock.
1,000%.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's beautiful. Wow. And where you're at now, people think you blink your eye and you get there.
Yeah.
You went through a lot. You touched a little bit on it, being the only black family in that area, working at the first black coach in that area, or whatever. What are some memories from those? Some trials and tribulations that you went through in those years?
It was a resort. So on the weekends, we had a lot of people come in from all over California, the country, Newport Beach, and they set up a lesson, for the tennis pro to come down and take a lesson from the hotel. And they had a lesson from Rance Brown. And the guests would come in and say, I have a lesson, here with Rance Brown. And I'd say, well, all righty, nice to meet you, I'm Rance Brown. And I had a guest say, I'm not taking a lesson from you. My dad used to have the saying, don't forget you're black. Sometimes you just do in that environment. Oh, no, I'm different. No, I'm not different. And that taught me a lot. It just taught me, I can make it, but I definitely have to still be a black man. And guys, I've got to be honest, it took a while to find out my place where I could balance those things. Living there on a daily basis in Orange County, you guys, there's some challenges.
Quite.
I just had to have some balance in that, because you can get very resentful and get very negative. But again, through self-help and the Lord, I can balance those things out. That has all the answers for me.
Lord, forgive me for my sins, because I thought, I never imagined Rance was going, had those issues.
Yeah.
Of all people, right? And so out of my naiveness, I just never imagined that, but then again, I didn't think about it till you were, in college coaching. And one of the questions I was going to ask, you have a great day out there, great day, the best day you had, but at the end of the day, there's a phone call with a complaint. And it's a false complaint. It's only based on the color of your skin. A Karen email. But yet, you're guilty until proven innocent. What's your magic, man?
You guys are my magic. We all learn from each other, and I guess you guys coming to my life, Terry kind of moving in, it was my first time having a manly relationship with black men. I went to high school.
I learned something else I ain't never heard before. Keep on talking, brother. Keep on talking. Wow.
Very important for me, because I was the only black kid in my school. So it was a learning experience in my life, but it was an important time. It was an important time to grow. And I don't want to get off what you asked me, Roger, but you go through it, and you just got to know, I want to go here. This is a means to get here. And there's a lot of people went through a lot worse than I'm going through. A lot. And we all have our stories.
It's not just one thing that makes a great truck, it's a variety of features that make your truck great. The Ford Ranger or the F-Series are both efficient and reliable. At Champion Ford, we have a truck that will boldly take you on all your adventures.
Those phone calls, Troy, they hurt for about 5 minutes, but you know yourself, you know your heart. A parent say this or that. Luckily, I had some people around me that knew my character. And
That's good.
So if it wasn't for that, I could have lost a job in a day.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It, full circle. Errol's working for me at UCLA. And we have a nice little family over there.
Yeah.
Coach Sampras is one of the most unconditional human beings I know.
Jesus.
She's,
Shout out to Coach Sampras, Coach Stellas.
Yes.
she's
The whole Sampras family.
The whole Sampras family.
Yes.
Sophia, Savannah,
Woo!
Steve.
just salt of the earth type of people. we
Yeah,
are. So
absolutely.
I just her allowing us to come in and highlight our strengths and be us, and her not worried about her job, this or that. She understood
Powerful.
our
Powerful.
strengths,
Yeah.
what he brings to the equation.
Powerful.
what I bring to the equation.
And just to make note of that, Rance was able to field the all-black coaching staff for the camps in the summer, and such a powerful thing. Shout out to UCLA, the beautiful people that are inclusive on the west side, and the Riviera Country Club. Everyone that was involved in seeing that vision for Rance, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. And for you and Stella to have the boldness to give all of us an opportunity to learn, and to, it just, I can't, there's no organizations out there that are going to, we are the organization. There's nobody out there that's going to recognize these incredible things that we're doing. And it's okay, but so we're kind of recognizing it here and now. And all of those kids were college students, college grads, and that summer money. The impact that they had. It's just I just really, really. And I've tried to model myself. I don't think I have the courage yet.
We can all be late bloomers.
You
have courage, trust me. You have the courage. But Roger, if I could say, absolutely, I really feel UCLA, I walked into the perfect environment. There's not too many universities like the UCLA, and that tradition embracing African American men and women.
Yeah, Terry's not gonna let you come in and mess up his money. You can come over and eat, but he ain't gonna mess up his money.
Hey, can I dig a little deeper? A question was asked to me. Oh, I got to tell you what your brothers did to me. They asked the question, how did I get into tennis? And I said it was a girl, and they all laughed at me. Your response to that? Okay, so you're not laughing. See, that's
Wait.
wait. No. It was a girl.
I know it's a girl.
Oh,
Wait. Is there a backstory?
There's an A, B, and a C.
But who put that racket in your hand? When did that start?
Arthur Ashe
When?
on TV. With some beads around his neck.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That powder blue. Powder blue and yellow.
And, his picture's on my desk. I'm representing way more than me.
Yeah.
And us. It's something he said that's an icon.
So did you tell your dad, somebody, I need a racket? Or
Mom went to Big Five, got that pro standard, that's already strung racket. Got me some Converse skid grips. I put my socks on like I'm coming to basketball practice after year. Thank God we went to Marina High School. I was 48 out of 52 freshmen and sophomores.
Wow. Ooh.
Yeah. So
Sheesh.
luckily enough, I was hard-headed enough and hit that backboard and and kept going. And no one's gonna tell me because I did not want to play football.
Ooh.
Dad came from that.
You didn't want them hits.
New. I looked like the mailman visited because my mom is tiny and I have two huge brothers, so I was not going to play that football. So I had to find something, but it was seeing Arthur Ashe on TV and UCLA being there. I mean, that university has 5 buildings on campus that are named after African American men.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There's not too many campuses in the United States that have 5 buildings that are named after the Tom Bradleys of the world. It's the Arthur Ashe Health Center. It's truly a special place.
So now the little black kids, y'all out there and sisters, are gonna see Rance Brown at UCLA as the top assistant coach in the United States. They gonna start playing tennis. Like you start playing with Arthur Ashe, they gonna see that, and they're gonna be inspired by that, and they're gonna be inspired right now, and I'm inspired, and I love you, I'm your brother, and I'm inspired, so speak on, brother.
Let me correct you, Terry. They've already been inspired.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
They've already been
Already.
You know what? Hey, I can contest to that because I've been on some trips and I've seen some girls come to me like, I'm gonna play for you one day. They'll tell you, I want to play for you one day, and I'm just sitting there like, this is crazy. This is great. They working right now.
It's that's a gift. That's an honor.
Yeah,
to be able
that
to
is a
have
gift.
those, and have African American girls. I love every girl on my team, but you're happy. You're proud to see a young woman come in and handle herself in and out of the classroom professionally as being one of the best. UCLA is not for everyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
You really need to be able to be challenged in and out of the classroom. That's not an ethnic thing. That's just a unique environment at that university. They do produce champions. And to see these young ladies nowadays, and I'm just speaking from the young lady side, and even from the men's side, to see these kids come through college, come through the juniors. And I've been fortunate now, after 26 years at UCLA, to see these kids come through, to see their mothers, and hopefully, I get to see a few more African American kids. And people go, well, why do all the black girls want to go to your school? I said, they're not coming for me. But people do like to be around people that look like them, that talk like them. And, I think a lot of people don't understand for black young women, all those things they've got to go through before they even get to the courts.
Wow, yes.
How many times did someone ask them, can I touch your hair in the locker room? And you laugh, but we all went through it. We all went through it. And, for a young black woman to walk in your locker room and be crying, God damn, why am I getting emotional? To tell them, just teach them, dear. Just teach them. They don't know. And so I go in that direction. You have a gift to be an influence on that girl. She just doesn't know. She's never been around a black woman. So I'm very proud of each one of those young women too.
Well, you're doing some great things, and we're gonna actually touch a lot more on that.
But the reason we do this podcast is because everyone has a story.
Yes.
And, like I said, somewhere, someplace, somewhere, they're going to listen to this. And you're going to touch so many lives just on your story. And for these people out there that are listening, to know that it wasn't just a snap of the finger for you to get the success that you got. You went through a lot. And people need to prepare for that. They really need to prepare. And our stories, your story, is exactly what we want people to know. Your rock, what you went through, all the ups and downs,
And I'm sure there are a lot more stories you probably couldn't even write enough on paper.
I want to just go back to your mom.
What was, if you could remember something that she always said to you that still stays with you today, what would that be?
It's pretty easy to say. That I love you. God loves you. And I knew that was solid. But I can do anything I want to do. And you hear these things put out there nowadays in social media. You really can't. I'm as dyslexic as hell. I could not comprehend reading, but if I hear it and see it, I'm gonna remember that lesson. I used to go.
Time out.
We knew it was coming. So,
All right,
wait. You can come. So God put me in a place where I could watch and learn from other people, and still how to teach, and still the way He teaches is still the way He teaches, and that person. And He put me in a venue that I was going to just flourish. I didn't have to go and read a chapter and take an 8-page paper. But God put me in this place where all my strengths were in one place. And if I was smart enough or dumb enough, I stuck to it. But it took me a place where I was great at and good at. I love children, but I knew I could teach. I'm not a coach. I became a better coach, but I was a hell of a good teacher. That's right.
Are a hell of a good teacher. You know, he drove a cabriolet and he drove a BMW. And these guys, you and I never competed against each other. These guys who's got the biggest calves, who's walking around no shirts on. You know, we didn't. And now we find out these two cats were two peas in a pod, just alike.
You didn't know I was dyslexic.
I didn't.
Wow.
All these years, you never knew that.
Wow.
And I thought, I looked at you as a cat, as well as I looked at you, book smart, you read, you get all that stuff.
That's
Wow.
I think that was a driving force. People say you can't do it, or I had this or had that. I was always in the cool crowd and everything, but it still wasn't good enough for me. And I think overcoming those things, and to every child out there, to every kid that thinks they're having it tough, hey, it's only going to make you better, because God figures this out. He'll balance this out, and it's to be able to hold your head and as a man to realize.
I want to touch, if you don't mind, on that for a minute, because we had an episode earlier with Terry talking about what dyslexic meant to him and how he overcame it. Let's touch on that, because everyone, again, here's another story. Just outside the tent.
That's crazy.
So growing up, you knew this. Talk to me, brother. Talk to me.
The number one issue in my life. I had a big brother, Mr. All-American, lawyer, Rhodes Scholar, had a sister, got her doctorates. Education was huge in my family. And I was a redheaded stepchild. And it's nothing I did personally. It took me a long time. But, parents that really stuck to me and tried to be an advocate for me. But to understand, I still had a gift. And I think that dyslexic of going through that, because everyone assumed you speak well, you live in Orange County. Wow, Rich, he's smart. And then, even the teachers, you're in class, you answer questions, you're a nice kid, and you take the test, and they look at it and go, what's wrong? Well, I can't do this and can't do that. Well, you're not trying. So there was a lot I was going through. I thought I was
wasn't diagnosed.
Didn't have what the kids have today. I think the reading game mom took me to this little place down in the end of the street, like Kumamat now. They tried to put me in situations, but things like that just weren't diagnosed. And I think nowadays they really let kids learn how their environment, how they learn. But Roger, in one way, this dyslexic has, it's been a gift. It's been a gift. And I just kind of, Dr. Parham's taught me a lot how to look at some things like that. So I've had some good people around me in my adulthood, to balance things out like that. And everyone's got a dyslexic in their life.
Yes.
And that's not as a person, but everyone's got weakness and strengths.
Yeah.
Yes.
My mom was saying spider.
Yeah.
Spider.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just you guys, both of you, man. And everyone out there.
I guess we were. Okay, nothing.
No, I'm just saying, everyone out there who is.
We used to spend a lot of time together, but we never had these type of conversations.
And this is why this is so great.
Yeah.
This is so great. We go out and we'll have beer, we'll have dinner, we'll talk, and we don't talk about this stuff.
Wait, how fast were we moving?
We were hunters.
How fast were we moving?
Troy said that.
We were moving pretty fast. We wasn't into talking about what this. We were talking about what we gonna do, where we going, what's happening.
But see, if you didn't tell me, I would have never known. And if you didn't tell me, Rance, I would have known. I would have never known.
Of course.
We'll get good at what we can hide.
Yeah.
Well,
And as black men, we don't talk about like these things. And
Right.
again, the genius of you is having another avenue and a venue for people to learn. And this is the way we get that information out to this culture now. And,
Absolutely.
and to let everyone know we're not perfect, but you can still be the best of the best.
It took Chapman College for me to find out. 2 years in. 2 years in.
Did Mike Ellis help you with that?
Mike didn't know.
Mike didn't know.
But the tennis guys on the tennis team were tutoring me, trying to help me, because I bought the GPA capital sports. The tennis was the high end, and then he comes here and just bringing us down, Hey, Rance, you gave me an opportunity to room with you when I needed a place. And the way it happened, I think, I don't know what was going on when I got out of school, or when I was staying with a girlfriend at the time, things that wasn't working out. And then you and I start talking. You said, I just bought a house, a condo, you can rent out the room. And it was just like the timing of it. I thank you for that. I thank you, because here's the deal. You're the only one that was in Orange County that I've met. You go to Chapman, you got people that are from other places going to school, but not an implant, not somebody that lives in these areas, And it's just like, God, he speaks well, talks well, carries himself well, he's sharp. He Nike'd out to the team. He had a shag in the back. It was all cut just like symmetrically. And one thing that people don't know about Rance is a clean freak.
Oh, no, wait.
Wow.
Wait. I'm gonna go back, because I've been working with this man for 2 years, and I've never seen anyone keep anything so clean.
Wow.
His shoes, his jackets, his office. At the end of the day, it's all clean.
You know what I did one day? So I call myself, I'm gonna help him, right? I know nothing about no dishwasher. Okay? So I put regular detergent in the dishwasher. I was all proud. I said, I'm helping out. They see them come in. The suds are all over the floor. Rance looked at me and says, what did you do? What did you put in there? That's detergent.
We've all done that.
Come on. You done that?
We have all done that. We have all.
Yeah, but it's just the house was immaculate. I mean, just to the T.
Yeah,
you know,
I could have
just to the T.
I got a test.
Hey, you can eat in the bathroom. That's how it is, you know.
I could attest.
Wow.
Even in the locker room, what do you tell them after every day? Girls, keep the locker room clean.
Yes.
Please.
Yep. I do. I'm guilty.
It's nothing to be guilty. That's a beautiful thing. But that place was really nice. You had a knack for stereo equipment. I was so jealous. Damn, this brother got it all, man. I thought I was the one. I mean, this bringing in this system the system that was just like, man, that came out of some white dude's house down the street. You know what I'm saying? It was just clean, crystal clear, you know? But, hey, you know what? The brother knew his jazz.
Yeah,
he knew his jazz. He knew the players. I don't know if it was you who told me about Cafe Lido.
Yes.
Okay, so I go to Cafe Lido.
Oh, wow.
Wow, this is beautiful. Okay, the band is only black and there's no other blacks around. I said, white folks like jazz. In Orange County, I'm cool. They like the jazz, you know? You know, I'm figuring if they like jazz, they like me. But that was always a nice little spot. Via Paredes. You turned me on to all those eating spots in Orange County.
God! That's what you gotta do. That's what I love to do as a special.
Oh my God.
You know, Rance let me crash at his, you know, he's big brother Rance. Yes, he's always.
He took us all in.
He's always having high fidelity. His bicycles. You know, he was the modern man.
You know, Troy, I know a little bit more than you realize. I know you went to school.
Yeah.
I know exactly who was your coach. I know he taught you about laughter. Didn't he get a degree in laughter?
Yeah.
What's it called, Troy?
Yeah. Well,
what's that degree called?
Look at him. He's trying to deflect. I was. Coach Mason was magical. You know, they come in by the droves. And we, you know. Oh, man.
He said laughter.
Those was, even when I got those, there was some great years. Hey, you moving in with me wasn't a chapter. It was a whole new book that I read in my life.
It was definitely a book.
And
you know Paul Kessler, you know, me, Paul Kessler, all of us.
Yeah,
and
shout
then
out Paul
Roger
Kessler.
coming in playing for the new
I spent a night there too.
Yeah.
I spent a night.
Yes.
I remember driving down to Indian Wells early in the morning so we could watch Paul play quality.
Well, we were driving down together in that Beamer. I said, Rance tried it. I said, Rance tried it. I was sleepy. Rance like, I sat in the front. I was like, hey, he pressed that a little too hard. I didn't want to say that. But he was like, and then he leaned in like this. I said, what? You know how to drive that car.
Shout out to
Rance
Paul
go with
Kessler, my doubles partner from Kenya, Mahalananya.
My teammate from Chapman College, baby. Shout out, Paul.
But we're going to get into this college, all your accolades, which there are a million of them. But before we get there, if there's one thing, and I want each of you to say one thing, one advice that you can give to someone out there that's dyslexic, what would it be? There's one thing.
Never give up. Never give up. You know, I was saying, your son knows, you never lose. You either win or you learn. And that's life. You learn from your mistakes, you learn. And there's just different ways of learning. And just understand that as a young person. And I kind of want to look at the camera, but it's so important to realize everyone's got strengths and everyone's got weaknesses, and find your damn strengths. Awesome. That's more than one word. Sorry, that's beautiful.
That's one word.
T-Dawg.
You're not stupid. You're much more than that. You don't have to hide. You don't have to hide who you really are. You don't have to look at other people and put them on a pedestal. Or want to be like them because you feel like they're smarter and you're dumb. Just you put God first in everything you do, and family. So
That's beautiful. Now you see why we do this podcast. It's great. Coaches, life coaches, not just tennis coaches, life coaches.
y'all be trying to dig into people's hearts. Man. I'm talking about just digging all up in there, you know.
It's not just one thing that makes a great truck, it's a variety of features that make your truck great. The Ford Ranger or the F-Series are both efficient and reliable. At Champion Ford, we have a truck that will boldly take you on all your adventures.
So before the break, Rance, and I want to touch this again. We're talking about you're dyslexic, if I pronounce it right. And you had mentioned your therapist. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
In life, especially in our community, in the Black community, it's something that is not talked about. And it's something I knew something was wrong. I had to get a balance trying to find Rance. And I did this later on in life. I think I was 35, 36 years old. Went and talked to someone, and then going to UCLA, I had the honor of meeting Dr. Bill Parham, was head of student psychological services over at UCLA. And now currently is in the doctor's program at LMU and works for the NBA in mostly Los Angeles Lakers. Life-changing, working on me. And going in and having a list of problems and saying it's all these people's fault, and him making you look at yourself. And to all the young people in life, and the hardest thing to do is be honest with yourself and to look at yourself and to be real. And that's a lot of work, sometimes tougher than tennis, any sporting event in the world, to come to peace with yourself, to understand some things. But again, understanding my role, what I have in life, and how I can affect and give a gift to Terry, if it's another young kid that has dyslexic, to just understanding yourself. And I was very fortunate because it changed my life. I don't think I'd be at UCLA if it wasn't for Dr. Bill Parham. Tremendous pillar, another African American Black man that understood me. I didn't have to do any relating, but I think that changed the course of my career. Me being a more effective coach, person, teacher, and just man, period. And I think that's something nowadays in sports, you're hearing it more, sports psychology, sports this, sports that, but I think it was the game of life is way more bigger and more important. It lasts longer than any tennis career you're going to have. And the peace that put in my heart was life-changing.
And your relationship now with Dr. Parham?
Oh, like I said, probably besides, and again, when I say friends, I have a lot of acquaintances. There's not too many times I get in a room with friends that keep you in line, that let you know. But he, someone that is a friend, a father, a mentor, everything you want in life. It changed the course of my life, just dealing with me and being okay with me. And this taught me so much. And I hope any young person that is going through anything nowadays, life is different. We didn't have to grow up with so much too fast. And I was definitely a late bloomer. I think I didn't feel comfortable with Rance until my 40s. I feel real good, real good.
That's awesome.
But God, it's my journey, my pathway to that, to be a college coach. It was a lot of things had to go right. But I think as a man, as a Black man, looking at me in the mirror, it's probably one of the biggest things I ever had to do.
That's beautiful. Wow. That's beautiful. Blessed.
Thanks for asking that question.
Yeah, absolutely.
The titles of learning disorder and mental health, and don't be ashamed to address it or to seek help in those categories, and that's kind of like a theme I'm getting here on those two topics.
I don't want to get off the subject too much, but I listen to a lot of podcasts, commuting in LA traffic, and listening to the autistic spectrum changing. and how many great athletes, when they start talking about this, I could say, that player is this, that player is that, that's that person. It's either they're just so locked in on something, they just overdo something, but so many times you start listening to this and you think of certain athletes, and you go, I wonder, is that spectrum with athletics? And I'm sure there is. I'm not an expert. I can't speak on that, but I'm telling you, when they talk, it's like listening about athletes.
Right.
Yeah.
And the kind of, Roger, you know what it's like to walk on center court US Open and get that adrenaline. How do you replace that? You know, I've been fortunate to be friends with Pete, and it's like, wow, where does he get all that back in life? And, I'm sure he could tell us a lot, but it's to go through some of the process in that pathway of what I did. I feel fortunate. I feel blessed.
Yeah. And it's almost like the more you advance in life, you go through these things and you need help. So you can't just run from it. I coach a lot of high performance athletes, obviously aspiring tennis pros as well as professionals. And I would say that 80% of the professionals that I coach are seeing a sports psychologist. Because there's a lot of stress that you have to deal with. A lot of things you don't know about yourself. And if you don't deal with it like you say, you're not going to get through it. Even in my later years, I talk to a therapist. And I'm not afraid to talk about it, about some of my issues. And it's helped me tremendously in my personal life. Yeah. And I wish that I had ventured in that direction. Well, back when we were young, it wasn't available like it is today. Sure. We looked at it as, you go to therapy, you got problems. You got crazy. It's embarrassing. You need fixing. Mm-hmm. But therapy today is so much more than that. So much more than that. Just aligning up who you are and who you want to be. And it just helps in so many ways. So it's helped me a lot too. Right?
And not everyone has, we're sitting here as, tennis coaches, men, black men, not everyone has that access. Mm-hmm. And, I hope young people that are listening to this, parents, kids, try to find a way. If it's your local park, if it's what, but hopefully it's there for these young people. Mm-hmm. Life is difficult, especially young men, young women. I don't want to, I can say black, white, there are definitely layers that add on to those things, but I think mental health right now in America is huge.
We all have come from a very strong church background. And I just want to set church folks free. If you got a pastor out there telling you it's a sin to go seek counsel and help and all you need is Jesus, well, you need to leave that church, okay? Because God made counselors too. Mm-hmm. And so I got that in my church, in the church, you're going to see counselors, you're going to spend money on therapists, and, that was kind of like that led me from that. Yeah. I had to have a paradigm shift. When I was 19, I got my sports psychologist, and obviously I had my best year in college then. But, it was from a church background where you were ostracized from seeking in the secular world, mental health.
But just like we were talking about, I talked about Stella in the office about this, and how much has it changed? Because I know when you came into the organization, they really didn't have too many mental health services. How has that changed? Even dealing with some of the athletes that you've dealt with, how has that changed? Has that helped you? Has that, gave you easier ways, techniques to, can you just describe how that has changed over the years?
That's a great question, Errol. It makes you be more of an effective coach in person, understanding what these people are going through, and understanding, how to get the best out of them. But how it has changed and how it has changed in the last 5 years is amazing. UCLA, right now, the athletic department, 1 or 2 or 3 kids a year going on suicide watch, where you have now 20, 30 kids a year, having to now, instead of have 2 psychologists, hire 12 psychologists. Is that these kids aren't equipped coming in to deal with the pressures academically, tennis. I know our sport, it's a tricky balance where so many of our kids do homeschool. And they kind of come in sometimes as an incomplete person. Their social skills, their conflict resolution skills are 0. They miss the playground. They miss having girlfriends and boyfriends and getting in fights and saying stupid things to your friends. They don't, he relates to the kids in a different way that Stella and I do.
Yeah.
They look at him totally different. And they'll come to him and be able to say things to E that they won't say to Coach Stella and I think that's why it's such an effective unit.
Yeah.
But these young kids are going through it. Yeah, they're just not equipped, and it's kind of alarming.
Let me clarify something too. Troy, when you talked about a sports therapist when you were in college, I actually did have a sports therapist in college that I dealt with, Dr. Neil Newman, also a tennis player. And I would see him in tournaments all the time. But you see, I didn't look at it as therapy back then. I looked at it as just talking to a tennis player, a friend. But it was actually therapy. And he taught me a lot of strategies. And I had a really great college career.
Yeah.
Thanks to Dr. Neil Newman. But I didn't keep up with it when I first turned pro. And through my pro career. I didn't have another therapist.
Didn't have access to it.
I had support, friends, Troy, Terry, you, everyone like that, you know what I mean? And that was therapy in itself, right?
Right.
But I wish I had kept up with it.
What is conflict resolution?
It's conflict resolution is you and I getting in an argument.
Okay.
You're gonna raise your voice and just out screaming and win it, and just learn how to deal with that.
Okay.
Once you start screaming, you really lost control of the argument. Just learning how to deal with that. They did not have those daily conflicts of friendships.
Yes, those interactions.
So all of a sudden, we're playing individual sport, and you're trying to say, oh, this girl, you should care about her. She's your teammate now. She hooked me in 14. That's the way they're thinking. It's like, oh, no, she's your teammate. We spend so much time on team.
Right.
And it's just, I think Stella she's a psychology major herself.
Wow.
Okay.
We were the first team. I'm gonna argue this with Jeff Troche. And Jeff, again, psychologists seem to be my best friend, but Jeff is very, very special friend to me. Jeff Troche traveled with us to NCs, to indoors. And it wasn't to help the girls, it was just to get them to be able to get on the court and deal with what they got to deal with.
Wow.
And, it tells you the challenges we have as coaches, and it could be any sport, but I think ours is really unusual. We're homeschooled now, and parents feel like they have to take their kids out, and which I have my own opinions on. I think you got to watch that game you're playing. Is your child really going to be the next Serena? Can they make a living playing professional tennis? Or use your Black American Express card?
Are there a lot of delusional parents out there about their kids' talent level?
Yeah, Troy, it's, that delusional word, parents, I'm not a parent, so I don't want to judge.
Right.
But you've got to have some blinders on, that blind faith of, listen, there are special people in this world that have special gifts. Serena Williams is special. She would have been great at probably anything she would have done athletically. But people saying, I don't want to go to college and turn down an education, and saying my child wants to go play pro tennis. I think the 99th percentile of people should go to school or at least have a backup.
Well, what did you see in Madison Keys and a Sloane Stevens? You knew that, okay, these were special.
Right.
And when you saw them, you didn't even do a recruiting pitch. You kind of knew that they were a cut above the rest of the peers, and this is so, pro material.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, Sloan, I saw her play her first pro tournament at 14. In Lexington, Kentucky. And I went up to Sybil, who I know now, didn't know at the time, and introduced myself, and I just said, your daughter's not going to come to college, but I want to introduce myself to you, and just let you know, you're an amazing young lady. It just the way she carried herself at that age, and once I met Mom, I knew why. She had someone guiding the ship. Sloan was not in control of that ship at that time. But seeing those type of things, Troy, and seeing the kids that are blessed and gifted, I'm asking keys of Sloan, that's not the norm. That's just not the norm. Those are special young people that have known they're special, and they have work ethic and dedication to be a professional. Being a professional is, the word kind of kills it. To play for money is completely different. To play for UCLA is completely different. Watch what you wish for, because it is a lonely existence out there. Tennis is brutal. I don't want to break anyone's dreams, because it's a vehicle to get where you want, and if you're using it for that.
Well, let's look at Carrie Phoebus. How did that process versus Sloan and Madison turning pro, versus you have a player that's coming through the ranks, goes to college, and then turn pro. Talk about that a little. Those journeys.
One of the most talented, hardworking women athletes I've ever, got to train. Carrie was a Honda Award winner. Only woman in history won singles and doubles. Went on the pro tour, did initially well, but missed the support system. Missed the team, missed the mom. You're on the road, different city. And Roger, you guys all played a lot more pro tennis than I did. But if life isn't good somewhere along, it's not a fun life. It's not like you're on the plane with 10 other men or women and you travel to the next. We all lost, So it definitely adds another layer of certain things to us as tennis players.
Absolutely. I want to hit one more thing before we really hit.
Yeah.
You had mentioned your parents and being the first black family in Newport Beach. Your father was in the military and got a college degree.
Yes.
Your mom had a college degree. What did they do to get there? Because, it's not like they just walked there.
Yeah.
What did they do?
Since my parents have passed, I spent a lot of hours thinking of my parents' sacrifice.
Sure.
Nothing I can do can match that. But what did they do? They sacrificed. Their family sacrificed. My mom's the youngest of 13 from Ruralville, Mississippi, and all of her brothers and sisters put the money together for her to go to nursing school.
Yeah.
Dad to go to Texas Southern.
Yeah.
To be a chemistry major.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Moving to...
Shout out to the historically black colleges.
Amen. I wouldn't be here. Them to make a decision to move the year of the Watts riots and say, I just want my young sons to have this opportunity. Things came along with moving to Orange County, but the opportunities it made for us. But again, as we all know, in our community, there's such a shortage of black men in homes. And besides my mom being my brick, I had a grown dad to teach me wrong and right. Maybe I wouldn't do it the way he did it, but I'm glad I had fear and respect for my father.
I was at the memorial, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not sure if it was your sister, maybe you did, you spoke, and I think it was you, where you talked about you're a miracle kid, meaning something about you weren't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about that? Because that really touched me.
I got spinal meningitis through delivery. I spent my first 6 months in the hospital at UCLA. They transferred me from Temple Hospital in Hollywood, where my mom worked, to UCLA. Is that a circle? Wow. So, but, you know, that's that love, parent love. You know?
Well, we have something in common. I had meningitis, but I was at SC, but I was isolated for about a week.
Oof.
And then you had those spinal taps.
See, I'm glad I don't remember any of that.
So you had, say it again?
Spinal meningitis.
Viral and spiral meningitis.
And what is that?
I caught it through delivery process. I guess hospitals have all this stuff in it. And somehow I got that. And
It's an infection in your spinal.
yeah. So.
I got a story. I knew that your mom told me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. Your mom told me. She told me. And I don't know why we had to come. It was at your house, at your mom's house. And she told me about that, you know? And she said, got all the medications that we had to go through. Wow. And I remember that. And it's just been out of my head, but now it's click, click, click.
Yeah.
You know, it's brought back. But your mom was real special. She was so nice. What a, you know, mind me of mine, you know.
You know, and I think all us men sitting here, we do have that story. We all have a moms, and we all have a dad. But it was all about my parents sacrificing for their children to have opportunities. And I'm not a father, I'm not married, but I always said if I ever do have that opportunity, that privilege, that everything would be about them and not me. And I think that's somewhere got lost somewhere sometimes in our society, where there's not that man and woman bond that's supporting a young child to grow. And things come out of my mouth every day, and I said, God, how do I remember that? My dad, and we've all had those experiences, guys.
You say that practice.
You know the name of this podcast? A'lotta Racket. And we do cause it. Listen, so the viewers know how Coach Rance and Coach Terry met. Then there was Coach Victory.
I got to sleep on the floor on their couch at their apartment when I retired.
How'd you get there?
When Otis fired me, Paul Wakessa, before you picked me up, I went to Wimbledon with Paul Wakessa. He knew, anyway.
No.
And we came back. I didn't have a job. So Rance and Terry let me sleep on the couch. And, you know, I mean.
You gotta back that up, man. You gotta back that up. That's not.
Don't tell on me.
I'm gonna back it up. Okay.
Back it up.
It happened when I told you I met a brother that teaches at the Marriott. We went out one night.
All of you.
All of us. Rance knew everything that was going on. We actually went out to dinner.
Who went? All of us?
Yes, the three of us.
Oh, the three of us.
Yes, we went out to dinner.
Yeah, I had a place in La Jolla. I wasn't home.
So Rance was telling us.
I didn't have a place in Newport Beach, but I had a place in La Jolla.
You know, I'm not even going to touch on that. But I know that's how we got connected and through tennis. And then Troy says, that's another brother out in Orange County? I said, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Teach at the Marriott.
Yeah.
You know, and because he was like, you the first one out there, T.
Yeah.
But you know how it started? Like with you, then me, and then he's out there with all that clubs.
Yeah.
But there were no clubs. At the clubs, we were the first at that club. I'm talking not even members.
Shout out to Myron McNamara. Shout out to Myron McNamara.
Myron.
You know, he allowed me to come to the John Wayne, racket club. Back then you had to wear all white.
It said all white. They didn't say all white apparel.
Yeah, and
Wow.
Say that again.
Get it, Rance.
Say that again, man.
That's crazy.
Get it, Rance.
All white apparel. They didn't say all white apparel, it said all white.
All white.
When years later, they switched it to all white apparel. It wasn't culturally correct.
So listen, we have the Balboa Bay Club, Newport Beach Tennis Club. You had Lynn Borg. Yeah, it was 27 tennis clubs
so
in
many
Orange
clubs.
County.
And I bet you half of that now.
Yeah,
Probably.
when the real estate boom came. Remember Lenny Limborg right in Costa Mesa?
So you took in Troy also.
And, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but he and Troy hung out when I wasn't around.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, man, I introduced
Well,
y'all.
let's be, no, Rexy. Him and his
You and Rex.
You're alumni
Well,
at
that's
San
what-
Diego State.
Yeah.
So I gravitated towards,
That's
you
true.
guys were old buggers. I was a little younger than you, so I gravitated toward Rexy.
That's right, that's right, that's right.
Boy, we had a ball.
But did you know Rex at San Diego State?
Yeah, Rex, he was a legend. I already had left.
Yeah.
But he was a legend. And he was with the Raiders. And we trained together.
Going over to school and doing sprints.
Sprinting was our hobby, man.
Hey, man, why you got to bring up Rex? I told you that I thought my body was bowed, and then this little dude looked like a little pet bull. I was like, oh man,
Hey, wait, hold on.
come on,
Rex is
man.
bigger than you?
Rex was yoked out.
Rexy was
I don't care how tall I
bigger than you?
was. Rex had this presence when he walked through that door. You knew that dude was coming, man.
Wait, hold up. What years did he play for the Raiders?
He played, that was a year Bo Jackson, 2 years Bo Jackson.
Bo knows.
Practice squad, second year game.
Yeah.
So you took in Troy.
Yeah.
Tell me about
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
You know, it was talking about a college education. I got a class. It was just great to have friends, other buddies that we could be free to talk about whatever we wanted to talk about and be us. And I didn't have that, so I was starving for it. I didn't know I was starving for it.
Hey, do they edit this? You guys edit this? Well, I got a lot of Rance's floor.
Your price is way too high. You need to cut it.
Your price, man, them prices way too high. You need to cut it.
Rance.
Thank you, big brother Rance. To have a big brother with an apartment and you had the keys to that apartment, brother, shoot.
The underground.
I remember a house.
Yeah,
It was
a townhouse.
A townhouse.
Yeah, townhouse.
It was nice.
So you took in Troy.
Oh my God.
So what year was that? That was like.
Oh, Roger, that.
Wow, that's hard.
Paul was playing.
Right.
So,
That's right out of college. 85.
These guys
80.
would be on the court at 6:30, 7 a.m.
No.
in the morning teaching.
It was 87, 87, 88,
88.
not in the 90s. Because I had just,
So I got with Troy in 92, 91, 92, 91.
We were on the bus and I looked at Otis, who was getting ready to fire me. And you said, no, don't go home. Come on, T, let's go. And we went, you said, I only got $300 a week. I said, man, shit, let's roll.
500.
Okay, wait, that was with the bonuses. But that's a lot of money back then.
Hey.
That's a lot of money back then. But listen.
Yeah, I remember that.
But listen, the first tournament was San Francisco.
Yeah.
We went up to San Francisco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
And then we
San
come
Fran.
back. And then we stay in Newport Beach, Rand. We get at the Marriott.
your friends used to come
Yes, we
practice
did.
over there once.
We did. Ranch used to get us a room
beautiful.
there.
Yeah,
Ranch used to get us a good rate.
Man,
A good rate. Where those rates today, man? $30.
Yeah, I wish I had those rates.
you had beautiful
We used
race.
to stay there. And then eventually Troy and I got an apartment. But before that, then I stayed at your place. 1 or 2 nights on your couch, man. Troy was on the floor.
Nobody slept.
He gave me the
No one slept. Wait, that wasn't good sleep. That wasn't good sleep.
We turned it, he fell in love with him because he was in Santa Monica with John Lloyd. I said, oh, no, man, you need to come down here. I said, Santa Monica, no.
Hey,
Huh?
let me tell you.
Isn't that right? That's amazing.
That connection, that circle that we talked about earlier, Rance, that's just a circle. You know, the circle of life.
And it really is. And to be present, to be in it, have your son involved in it.
Now my son is in the circle with you at UCLA. You see how you just touched.
Who would have thought
You
it?
see how tennis just brought everything together, and how you just brought all this and more, because we ain't talking about all that. How did you get to UCLA?